Okay, so this is our system, DeepRAG. We will first log into DeepRAG and then I will take you throughout the features. So we have simple mode and the advanced mode. In advanced mode, we have multiple features, and in simple mode, we have limited features for the simplicity of the user. If the user is not so techy user, he can use the simple mode and get through their daily task. And if the user is at advanced level, he can use the advanced mode and get more features. So the first thing is, let's create the knowledge base. Once you create the knowledge base, you can directly create a knowledge base. You can see the supported file formats. You can um, choose the embedding model here, and then you can also choose the chunking model of your knowledge base, and then you have to save your settings into that knowledge base. And now from here, you can manually drag and drop your documents into that knowledge base from your local setup, local machine, and it will do the parsing and store the chunks. So from here, you can just simply upload the documents. So the main thing is data sources. Once you get to the data sources, you will see various option here. For example, Confluence, Google Drive, SharePoint, and OneDrive. Dynamics is under processing as well. So let's get you through the SharePoint. In SharePoint, we have two features. One is one-time import. So if you have a specific file you need to upload from the SharePoint just one time, so you can select this. You have to sign in your Microsoft account, and then you have to select that file. Yeah, these are the sites. You can go inside the sites. Okay, there was no document there. So this is the site, and here, for example, if we choose the PDF, and we can choose the upload to existing knowledge base, or we can also create a new one. So I uploaded to the existing knowledge base, which is test1, which we just created. Okay, so you can see the parsing status. It is success, means that this document is parsed, and we can also refresh the parsing to just refresh the chunks. So this will refresh it and will parse it again. And when you open this document here, you can see the chunks created by the parsing, and on the right side, you can also see your whole document. And in the configuration, you can see the previous settings of the knowledge base, which was supported file formats, chunking methods, and etc. Okay, now let's move forward to the autosync SharePoint. It is basically, it will select your one folder of SharePoint, and then you can sync that folder within our system. Whenever you click the resume button, it will freshly take your new changes from your SharePoint folder and bring them here, and you can see all the files in the knowledge base. You don't need to upload files again and again. You can just simply sync one folder from your SharePoint and bring the changes here. Yeah, so I selected the root folder and I just configured it, and then you can see you can see the test portal here, and then you have to resume the service, and it will, when it is active, it means that it is in sync right now. And then you can also refresh. If you do the manual sync trigger, it will uh, basically sync your files, basically refresh the files from your folder. So here you can see this is automatic parsing. You don't need to click the parsing again and again. It will just automatically parse your documents. And these are the chunks created. And on the right side is your main document. So now that was the knowledge base. And now let's try to ask some questions. Firstly, we will create the assistant and now ask questions from it. So this is in the simple mode, right? So in simple mode, we only have to tell the assistant name and select the knowledge base. That's it. It is for the person who is not very technical. So if I go to the advanced mode, I can see way more options here. See, now I have assistant settings, prompt engine, and model settings. I can basically do a lot of things from here. First, let's put the name, and then we can put the description of assistant. For example, the role of the assistant. We can also give it an opening greeting, and the most important is selecting a knowledge base, but from the prompt engine, we can also specify the system prompt here. And we can set up these parameters if you want to. And in model settings, you can select the models, whichever model you want to choose, okay? So now once you're done, you can save it, and now you can start talking with it. So let's try to talk with our knowledge base, what's inside. So I already knew what is inside the documents. That's why I just gave this question, because I knew that it does have the answer of that question. So here it bring out the answer, and it also gave you the reference of the document from which it got the answer. So it will never hallucinate. It will never, uh, um, you can say, assume the answer. It will bring out facts from your documents. That is why it's called DeepRAG. And now let's look at the OneDrive folder. And here you can see we have my files and shared files. First, you need to sign in. Now you have my files and shared with me portion. So you can select there, and you can also create a new knowledge base or the existing one, whatever you want. And these are my files, and this is shared with me file. So this is one document, and I can simply upload it into the knowledge base I want, basically. And once I upload it, it is automatically parsing right now. You don't need to come and press the button on every single folder or file. Yeah, it is parsed, and now you can see the chunks. So these are the agents we created. These are the custom agents, and in advanced mode we have much more options. Let's go through them first. So the file management, and file management, basically you can see your knowledge base as folders and your documents as files, and you can basically scroll through them and see your data. So this is our knowledge bases. These are our knowledge bases, and inside them you can see the folders. And in the model providers, in advanced mode, you can specify your own default model, basically whatever you want, the chat model, the embedding model. You can set your own default model, and below you can also see the admin configured models. These are from the admin panel. He can configure some models for you as well. So these are the default one, and if you want more, you can do it from that blue button. And this is the API. Basically, if you want to integrate DeepRAG into your system, you can get this API. This is the team portion. Here you can see yourself, like I signed up from this email, and if I want to invite any team member, I can invite them here. Now let's go through. Okay, this is our intelligent email query chatbot. Basically, you have to connect your Microsoft account. It will be connected to your Outlook, and that it will fetch your emails. You can increase the number of emails you want, and you can also specify the date range. If you don't, it will bring up the latest 10 emails. So these are the emails from your Outlook. You can open up and see them. And on the right side, there is a very intelligent chatbot. You can just ask any question from it, and it will use your email data to give you that answer. You can ask it to summarize your last 5 emails, or tell you who you are talking to and what you are talking about, and it is very intelligent to give you that answer. So it brought the answer pretty quick because it has your good amount of data. And the main thing is that we are not storing your this data on our site. You just ask question and then this data get erased. So it's a very good for your security. Okay, now this is the agent workflow. Basically, you can create your custom agents from here. You just need to click that button and choose a template, or you can start from the blank one as well. If you choose a template, you just have to give the name and then the template will appear. And now you can start working here. Okay, so you can see your agents here in card view or list view. So let's move to the data enrichment part. Here you need to provide your API keys, Firecrawl API key and OpenAI API key. You need to drop your CSV and it will do the data enrichment part for you. These e-commerce data analysis bot and the smart retail and the retail intelligence bot. These are were our previous models, and now we combined them and brought up a new smart retail intelligent smart retail bot. And basically, it can do the job of the previous two as well. So let's just get through this one. Okay, so I asked the question and it already hid my data because I feeded that into the system, and now it can bring up the answers on your data. So I also asked the question to show the current planogram of the store, specific store, and recommend the changes. It showed me the current one and the recommended one, and then we can deploy our changes and we can also see the report. This is a flight and beauty insight bot. Here you can ask the flight trends, the travel trends, trends on skincare, and how the travel trends are impacting the skincare trends. So this is what the bot does. It analyzes the flight trends, the travel trends, and the skincare, and it can relate them together. And this is a very cool feature that we have this in English as well as Chinese. Okay, this is our feature which is known as search. So here you can search inside your knowledge bases and you can select one or multiple knowledge bases. And here you can write a question, whatever you want. It will basically search through your knowledge base and provide you answers. So it gives us the answer. Here you can see it brought up the answers from the knowledge base. And here we have a very cool feature to provide the pro plan, the free one, and the enterprise one. So from here you can see your plans, and in settings you can also see your current plan and option to upgrade. This is a dashboard which is a quick view of overall things, quick actions, AI agents, recent knowledge bases, personal achievements, and these kind of stuff. Now let's check out the admin portal. Here you can just log into the admin portal, and once you log in you will see a dashboard where you can see the total number of users, knowledge bases, total documents and conversations. You can also see the system status, and you do have some quick options to add users and create knowledge bases. And also here you have the two languages option. You can also see the profile of the admin. You can also see the settings of the admin. Okay, so let's check the user management. In user management, you can see all the users available. You can edit them, disable them. If you disable them, they become inactive. If you enable them, they're active and they can log in. If you edit their information, you can change their status, you can change their permission level, you can change their plans, even account types and the storage space available to them. And you can also add a new user. Okay, so if you try to add the new user, you can see the form you need to fill it to add the new user. Now, if you go to the tenant management, you can see the teams here. By default, we have one team. So you can also add a new tenant, and you can specify the models, the re-ranking models for them. And if you go through the data management, you can see the knowledge bases here. You can basically see who created which knowledge base, and then you can change the settings of those knowledge base. You can create the knowledge base yourself as well if you want. You can go through the documents of the knowledge base, and you can also go through the conversation of each person. If you check by dialogues, you have the conversation titles. You can click them and open them, and you can see that this conversation was done by this person. And here by users, you can see that this person had how many conversation and what conversation. So you can here see the things he talked about. So you can basically group it by users or by conversations. In model management, you can basically configure the models for your users to use, and you can delete the previous models, edit them, and if you want, you can import new models. If you go through the storage configuration, here you can do the storage configuration and save it. Now let's look at the system parameters, and here you just need to change it if you want it and then save it into the settings. You can change the language of the system, and you can also change the theme of the system. If you want a dark theme, you can choose that here. And if you want to use the light theme, you can do that. So this was all. Hope you like watching it.